The powerful have always preyed on the powerless. That's how they became powerful in the first place. Tyrion Lannister remarks nonchalantly while speaking to Lord Varys in the acclaimed TV series Game of Thrones, based on the epic fantasy novel A Song of Ice and Fire, written by George R.R. Martin. By now, even if you have not watched the series, chances are you have probably come across at least a few references to this immensely popular show somewhere on the internet. The story takes place in the massive fictional universe of Westeros and Essos, alongside dragons and magic. Yet, it portrays an extremely nuanced and diverse world filled with moral ambiguities, bringing into question the concepts of virtue, religion, politics, and power, not unlike our own world. Today, in this video, we'll have a look at 3 things that Game of Thrones had taught us about politics and warfare through the characters of Westeros. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. The first character we're going to talk about is Daenerys Targaryen. Throughout the majority of the series, her character is portrayed as the Khaleesi or Queen who can break the wheel of oppression on ordinary people, and she did have the pieces in place as well. A powerful army, strong allies, and overwhelming support of the masses, and arguably the most powerful military technology, the dragons. And yet she failed. Let's see why. In geopolitical jargon, her nation is called a revisionist power, which refers to a nation that is attempting to overthrow the current regime and create a new one. Not unlike Napoleon's France, World War II era Japan, or modern-day Russia or Iran. In a statistical study of revisionist powers, Yale University's research had found that they often fail by adopting disastrous strategies. Leaders build support mostly through a military victory. These leaders make grand promises of a new world and need to show that they are delivering. As a result, they build strategy around creating visuals of them keeping their word, often adopting risky approaches in the process. This was what plagued Daenerys as well. She had pledged she wasn't going to use the dragons the way her ancestors had, leading to locking up of her dragons entirely rather than using their firepower for more precise conquests. This also eventually led to a dragon being delivered right into the hands of the Night King. The Night King, the leader of the White Walkers and the primary antagonist, is her second character. In warfare strategy, the conflict in the north is termed as an offense-defense balance. The term coined by Columbia University's Robert Jervis refers to the idea that war is more likely when conquest is easy and technology can fundamentally shape whether states are likely to go to war. The wall, which was the dominant defense instrument in the north, successfully kept the White Walkers at bay. The Night King correctly identified this as the primary hurdle. Essentially, he focused on a massive military build-up while waiting for a time when technological developments would shift the offense-defense balance to his favor. And it did, the minute Daenerys lost her dragon Viserion to the Night King, thus gaining control of an offense strong enough to trump the North's defense technology. With undead Viserion in his grasp, the Night King is arguably the most powerful military force in Westeros. In real world as well, most terrorist organizations, for example, wouldn't carry out an outright attack because they are aware that their offense is no match to the country's defense technology. However, when they are backed by other powerful forces, They gain an advantage, and oftentimes this leads to a military coup, as had happened in multiple countries over the world. The third character, of course, has to be Tyrion Lannister. Tyrion never wanted to rule. While the show is rife with stock fantasy archetypes, Tyrion Lannister stands out as the brain rather than the brawn. He was at the heart of all the politics and backstabbing, and a few were as skilled at the game as him. Eventually, he crossed the narrow sea and became an invaluable counselor to Daenerys, bringing his political wisdom to her raw strength. He wanted to steer her towards the right course of action. However, once Daenerys started losing focus from her original vision, they parted ways, and Tyrion eventually shifted his side towards Bran Stark, who, as we all know, ended up on the Iron Throne. In many ways, Tyrion was to Daenerys and Bran what Chanakya was to Chandragupta Maurya. Both of them were brilliant strategists who focused on the welfare of the realm rather than seizing power for themselves. Both of them were instrumental in securing the throne for their monarchs and gently nudged them towards the right direction. History has many such kingmakers who played pivotal roles. For example, the Praetorian Guard in the Roman Empire, Sayyid brothers in the Mughal Empire, or G.K. Mupanar in the post-emergency days of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. So this concludes our video on the politics of Game of Thrones. Do comment and let us know what you want to watch next. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe.